my Lyson poly hive. I wanted to put the clear inner cover on here so that I'd be able to look in here in the wintertime. We have all our sensors, but I still like to be able to look in there and see what the population is doing or if it's clustering or not. The problem is when I put this clear inner cover on, it's thicker, so the lid does not set flush on the box below. So what I did is I bought some gasketing, and 3/4 inch this is thicker than 3/4 inch, so I couldn't just lay it flat. So what I ended up doing is I got 3/4 inch thick by 1 inch wide, and I've actually adhered it to the face here and then along the little edge of the rim. So when I set the cover down, it is actually going to seal to this. It's not actually even going to touch that. It's going to be about 1/8 of an inch short of touching that. But that'll allow me just to take this on and off, and then this will act as an insulation, and this is just weather stripping. So that is foam. It's not as dense, but it's going to be better than leaving the wood exposed and letting there be a thermal bridge through this area. That's what we're going to try. See how it works out. Not sure about the longevity, or not the longevity, but the reusability of this after I adhere it, because it is stuck and adhered to all this stuff. So I don't know if I'll be able to use that once a year. Hopefully I can reuse it next year. But I think this cost about $12 for 6.5 feet, which is enough to go around, and I had about 6 inches extra, and it came in a roll of 13 feet, so that one also had a 6.5 foot length, which is pretty much perfect. Here's what this looks like when it's set in there. So it's resting, this is resting directly on this and pressing on top of that gasketing, and then to compress it a little bit I actually put a strap on there to kind of pull it all together and keep it all together. A similar thing here. That hive is entirely polystyrene. This hive has a slatted rack and a wooden bottom board. I have found that although this overhangs, I can still do an oxalic acid treatment through that opening without getting too close to this and melting anything there. So options are still out there. That bottom board probably could get a slatted rack added to it. I don't know if I'd get any sort of weather stripping to put on that to widen it up, but may not need this at all, honestly. And this is kind of probably overkill for where we are, but we're going to just compare these another year. I know putting them on is kind of not very fun and time consuming. We don't feed our hives in the springtime. If I make small splits and they need comb drawn out on foundation, that's the only time I'll feed my bees, but none of these large hives get fed. So a lot of them have pulled back on brood rearing and gotten smaller. So they're about the size that they would be in nature, I guess. Close to it because it's not being stimulated.